Witness the end. This is the end of Australian cars, basically. The last of the Aussie Falcons, the last of the Barra 6s. And not a bad car to go out on, actually. So this is an FGX XR6, the silver car that we pulled dents out of, which is currently already dead. The steering rack just locked up and it's no good. This was like, you know, the iPhone 6, well, this was like the 6S. They gave it an angry face. I love the angry face. Go. I think it's just because of this kind of blue, but it almost matches with the 6 in XR6. Like all of them have the blue 6, but I like that they nearly match. See, the back got the slim treatment too. It's a squinty edition. And yep, LPG. All these Falcons keep being LPG. Like Ford shipped them with LPG factory. They're heaps good factory LPG systems. Just means I can't go on the leaderboard. No twin exhaust, but stinking tow bar, mate, because Gaz is a working class man. And it's like a douche guard, so anyone who like bumps your bumper, they eat the tow bar and your knees. This car's pretty kind of dirty, mate. But like, just to show, this is how it is. Like Gaz uses it as just an everyday, daily car. Never mind, it's actually like a super rare Aussie classic that's just gonna go up in value over the years. I'm calling it. Gaz is my stepdad, and he still lives all the way down in my hometown. He does massive trips all the way to the city. Big rear-wheel drive guy, big 6-cylinder, cruisy, comfy, like low-slung roof and whatnot. This is a car to do it in. I grew up in cars like this because, you know, I lived in the same area. It just makes driving so much nicer. Mate, that's where the work boots go. Oi, you try and keep dirt out of a car with work boots in it. With the FGX, a big complaint at the time was that the interior was basically the same. And now that I've sat in Gary's old silver FG, which he loves so much that he got the FGX, and just went, oh wow, yeah, it's basically the same, except they put like a slightly better screen in it. A slightly better as in, oh, the frame rates don't match up at all. But yeah, like slightly better as in like you've gone from DOS to Windows 95. But when compared to the glow up that the VE Commodore had to the VF, it's just a little bit out of date. It's still nice though, man. I dig it. It's set up for Hank the dog. This is Hank's land. Well, there is a reason it's here. And it's because the engine's completely fucked. There she is, mate. Barra 6. The last of the Barra 6s, and actually probably the saddest I've seen of the Barra 6s. Come and have a look at Brucey's motor. The lighting's garbage, but like, they actually bothered painting it. It's got like the proper intake on it, the variable intake. I mean, I'm sure that one's variable, but this is actually made out of stuff. Oh, look how plain and dull it looks in comparison. It's like, yeah. Real shame. Still stinking excellent motor, mate. But yeah, you can see Ford was on the way out. Couple of days ago, mate, driving home, she was a bit grumbly. Motor was missing a little bit. And then when he went to go, she just wouldn't go. We haven't turned the key just because all the coolant's gone, and we know where the coolant's gone. That's milkshake, baby. That's, oh, I can't even focus on it. It's milkshake looking, mate, and that means there's coolant in the oil, and that means, at a minimum, it's more likely done a head gasket, which is just a huge job. Like, not good. James found a quality rag. It just says, what is it, James?
B-girl.
B-girl.
Yeah, B-girl.
B-girl. This is James's first ever Barra experience. Day one Barra for James. Good luck, James. Oh boy, there's our Sparkies. And there's one bad one, but it's not that bad. Using the endoscope. Oh yeah. That's what we look like on the inside. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a piston.
Oh good, we're not missing any. Wow, yeah. We found the wet one. So yeah, we're under Gaz's Falcon now, looking for the LPG tank. This is LPG, this guy. And so, like, we want to do a compression test, but we don't want it spraying fuel everywhere while we're trying to do it. No, there's like a thing on it. Or is that the access patch there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Well, there's gas in the line, though. Yeah. Hey! That good limited slip rear diff, mate. Yeah, wow. Weird goobery looking bolts. Oh, it's got a center bearing? Oh, I thought Falcons had one-piece shafts. That's skid marks from coolant leaks, that is. All the wheel bearings are good. That's nice. But the front shocks are kind of F though, so. Trying to get a compression test out of this thing, but it's dangerous because of the LPG. And now it's literally not trying at all. And it's like, yeah, maybe it's a bad bat, so we're gonna Give it more bats. We're just trying to purge the remains of the LPG out of it. So I go get a new battery for like the camera, and James has just rigged up this literal hot mess to crank over the engine. That is dodgy. And I love it. Oh, wow. Wow.
That's heaps more than I thought.
Jeebus dingus. Well, this is the compression king so far. Is this diesel? Wow.
That one's good too.
2 for 2. Oh, that's a bad. No, it's in the green though.
Yeah, all right.
Ah, that's a bad one. The most important thing with a compression test is that they're all very similar, right? You know, if it was like 180 or something, but they're all like that, that'd be fine.
We're back up.
That's a superstar again. Oh, that's another bad one. Yeah, so 3 and 5 are sad. This is the best bit. This is the wettest one. This is the one that straight out the gates was like, you're the worst. Watch it be the best.
Whoa.
Whoa, it is the best! It's off the gauge! James was telling me that people look for the LPG engines because this is bespoke LPG Ford one because apparently they have higher compression. Well, they do. James is going to put some oil down piston number 3 because if the rings are bad, then the compression will be way better. So we hope that the compression isn't way better because then this thing needs a full rebuild. We're hoping it's just a head gasket or something, maybe resurface the head or something. So this better not be a massive improvement or it's not good news.
No, hasn't really changed. So that's good.
Yeah, thankfully. All right, it's probably a head gasket. So yeah, we're just gonna fire it up and see what it does. I mean, couple of sad cylinders, mate, but I don't know. Gaz said he couldn't start it, so I don't know, let's start it.
It notices when that cylinder goes. Still notices when that one goes too.
So we filled it full of coolant because we want to look for bubbles while it's running. The C. We don't want to run it for too long because the oil's been compromised. Thankfully, it seems that the coolant and oil haven't mixed in the cooling system because then it coats everything with oil and it's literally nightmarish. As James has told me, it'll cook out all the hoses because they're not fuel and oil rated and they blow out. So thank Dingus McDingus. It's nice and clear. James's ball joint grabber. The ball grabber. Whenever people visit who are mechanically inclined, this is their favorite thing. So yeah, all the ball joints are good too. It's like, yeah, good car. Except for the engine and actually that front strut. Something I forgot to mention is that there's no covers hiding anything on this engine. That's so good from something this late. I mean, just shows it's the last of the Barras, mate. Although this intake really does look like garbage. 3 leaves.
Oh, that's a variable valve timing solenoid.
Yeah, timing chains and free milkshake. Real bad. That's gross. Man, look how complicated this valve train is. Barras, mate. Stinking cool motor. Good discovery by James. That's a resistor, is it?
The fan has 2 speeds, so that basically, unless it has to, it won't put it on maximum speed, because then you won't hear it if it's on low speed. And this resistor is what creates the low speed by taking a bunch of the power away from the fan.
James is being the pulley whisperer, whispering to the pulleys. Hang on, can we get the road mic in there? James discovered that the main pulley has to come off. The big balancer. That's a huge... Oh, wow. This has really stepped up in bigness. It's been a month because James has been in Japan. Yeah, but the head's here as well. So James has scraped this guy down, but now it needs to be sanded because it doesn't have to be a mirror, but it's got to be really stinking clean. Like, people really underestimate just how hard these are squeezing and how easy it is for these to blow out. I mean, James, did you ever see people use like silicone to try and do their own head gasket?
Oh, I've seen all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. People are very ignorant to just how much 200 and something PSI really is. Look how new it looks against the iron block.
Yeah, it makes everything else look terrible.
Yeah, that makes everything else look terrible. No cam bearings is so weird though, but then it's also fine, so I guess they know. Don't need new stinking tools when the old ones still work good. Nothing wrong with this kind of torque guy. Yeah, this is instead of bearings, huh?
Sure.
Yeah, this is just so the engine can survive for the first, like, 30 seconds. It's bump stick time. Exhaust bump stick going in first. No bearings. All right, fire it up.
I gotta take the cam out now.
What?
I haven't put any lifters in or anything.
Oh, oh, there's other steps.
There's more.
You're out of practice since come back from Japan. Works better when you put the lifters in. So that's like the cam pushes on the lifter, which pushes on the valve there.
The up and downer is.
Now's when you got to get all these markings all lined up perfect, because if this is 1 2000, at best it runs terrible, at worst you buy a new engine. Caved and got an actual torque, man. It's made in UK. So a little bit of a bridging here because James has been unwell, and so I've tried to stay away, and we kind of anyway. It turns out like they gave us the wrong head at the head place, and it only realized after putting it on. Whole lot of use that head gasket got. Oh boy. And after that, I believe the temperature sensor in the back was different because it was a different head, and so James had to like. Oh my goodness, it descended into madness. But mate, she's done, so we can get some information on it. It's time for the data, mate, and unfortunately being LPG, it can't go on the leaderboard. There's no LPG near me to do these stats. Alright, here's a hint, it uses heaps, okay? Oi, how's it do on the cruise board? 70 mile an hour, 110, mate. Doing that, how few revs does it use? And how loud is it inside the car? Up the hill. Come on, Barra. Go, Barra, mate. There you go, matey. That's a darling. Use that new head gasket. Well, that's 110 according to this dude. I'm so honored. There's a new leader of the cruise board. It's an Aussie car, mate. 1750 RPM and 70 decibels. That's massive. That's a humongous difference. What a cruise missile. And the 0 to 60 kilometers an hour, it's like 37 miles an hour. Residential speeds, mate. This is when the nuggets make sense. Gaz's blue XR6 Falky. Barra loaded up. Ooh, bit of a delay, but ooh, man. No way. Yo. Oh. 2.81. The fastest 6-cylinder here, and I'm so glad it's a Barra. Take that, Bruce 2. Oh, like, not far off from the CLS, which has way more power. But, I mean, what helps the Falcon is that it does it in one gear. It just goes, boom. Although that said, I mean, Bruce 2 did this as well. There's like a slight lag. When you hit it, nothing happens for a quick second. And like the timer doesn't start until the car starts moving. So it's kind of biased for combustion cars. Poor Jeffy bumped down a 4th. And of course we can track the G-forces. How hard does a push in the seat? 1 G is like the weight of the planet. 0.70. Second place as well. Oh, almost pipping the Prado, mate, but that four-wheel drive just makes it bite so much harder. Amazing showing. What a great car. What a great car. So for me, you know, like when a head gasket goes on a car, that really can be a tipping point because it's a huge job. It was massive. And like, it could be the tipping point where people go, I'll just get a loan and get something else. Or, well, I can't afford to fix it. But this is an Aussie classic. Like, this is the end of the line, the last of the Falcons, and arguably the best one. You saw the 0 to 60 time it did? Amazing. Fastest 6-cylinder on the board, mate, and that I'm so happy that it's a Barra. So Gaz, mate, you got your car back. You can stop driving Mum's Nug now. He's been driving Mum's Nug for about a month now, And boy, does he want the Falcon back. Yeah, it is.